Hey guys, it's Lynx Savage here. So yeah, I worked from home the past 2 days, so I haven't been in my car to do one of these early morning commute videos. But anyway, we're gonna pick right up where we left off. Last time we spoke about assessing your situation, and that was really just about your liquid assets, your money, things that you have readily available to you right now. Um, what we're going to talk about today is your credit. Um, Now, this is going to involve a couple of different things. One of those things is how you think about credit. Um, a lot of us are not taught how to manage credit, what credit is used for, when to use credit, and how to deal with that debt. What I want you to consider when you are thinking about credit is that every time you pull out that card, you are basically borrowing against time. Okay? Every dollar you make takes time for you to make it. What you make per hour is your monetary worth, perhaps. Let's call it that instead of trying to beat around the bush. But you're basically borrowing against time. So you have to understand that if you borrow $100 from your credit card, not only do you have to work your normal 40-hour week, you have to think of how many hours does it take for you to make $100, and that's the additional time that you need to work. Because the reality is you need to be paying off that credit card bill at the end of the month. Now, there are exceptions to this rule. Credit is for emergency purposes. When you simply do not have the liquid assets available to you to make the purchase that needs to be made. Keyword is need. We're not talking about, oh, you want the PlayStation 4, you want a new TV. No, those are things you can save your liquid assets and purchase. If you paid attention to the last one, you know about saving. And there are many ways to save. Get a penny jar, anything that you could put money into and save that money for that. But let's say your house springs a leak in one of the pipes and plumbing is super expensive and nobody has that, well, nobody who's unrich has that kind of liquid assets just rolling around for them to pay. Use your credit card and make sure that you are not paying the minimum. You want to pay more than the minimum. So understand a couple things about your credit card. Most credit cards have high interest rates. If you have shitty credit, you have really high interest rates. And paying the minimum, you're only paying off the interest. You're not paying off the debt, which means you'll be paying twice, maybe even 3 times what you spent. So, credit. Assessing your credit situation, I recommend wholeheartedly Credit Karma. They're not paying me, but I use Credit Karma constantly. It's a free credit report. You can see what bad remarks are on your credit. You can see what things were closed. What you're going to have to do is take an accounting for everything on that credit report. So if you see, if you have bad credit, you probably have a couple of negative remarks. You might have things in collections. The first thing you're going to do is find those negative remarks and find those things in collections, and you're going to fight them. All the instructions on Credit Karma on how to have something removed, it's all right there. You can actually do it all from Credit Karma's website. But you need to fight those things. Get removed as much as you possibly can. Because once those are removed, your credit score will go up. The other thing to help build credit, let's say you don't have credit or you have bad credit, it's a really high interest rate card, but they're called beginner cards, where you give them $100, they give you a $100 credit card. The interest rates are sky fucking high. It's crazy. But if used responsibly and correctly, it can help build a credit history of you making payments on time. So what you're going to do is you take that $100 card and let's say you have it budgeted out in your cash for gas every week. Okay, great. You have that money aside in your bank account. You're going to use that credit card. You're going to pop it in there and you're going to buy your gas. Keep the receipt. You're going to buy your gas. at the end of the month, the money that you put aside every week for gas, you're going to take it and you're going to pay off that credit card every single month. Do not be late. Don't think, oh, you have a grace period, because you don't. Pay that damn card. Now, getting your credit right takes years. I shit you not, it takes years. And it takes years because once you start to apply for those loans, they want to see a credit history. See, you can repair your credit score in a matter of a year, maybe two. You can actually get a great score. But you have no history. It's a 2-year history. So that's going to hurt your score, and it's going to hurt people wanting to lend to you. So you're looking at least 4 years. And I know, instant gratification, I want it now. You can't have it now. Deal with it. You're going to have to go ahead and pay that card every month. So once you start paying that card every month, you'll start getting other offers coming in as your credit score jumps up. Do not close this account. Learn from my mistake. You're going to think, well, it's a high interest card. I know. Pay it off and then don't use it. Throw the card away, whatever. Do not close the account. Do not use it once you have a better interest rate card. And once you have that better interest rate card, sometimes people like Capital One will give you a better interest rate card once your credit score is in the 500s. They'll give you a better rate on a card, and it's usually a 0% card for the first year on your purchases, which is great. But you're going to do the same thing with this card, because Capital One has this really awesome program where what they do is, after your first 5 months of paying on time, and remember, you're just doing the gas thing. You're just paying for gas or your transportation with your card, and you're paying it off every month. After your first 5 payments, they'll up your limit. This doesn't give you license to spend, but it does affect your debt to credit ratio, your debt to income ratio. If you have $1,000 car and you're only using 4% of it, this is good. Okay, it shows revolving credit, and you want that. Do not be late on any bill. Any bill. Okay, this is what I was talking about when I was talking about, if your mom is coming to you and she needs money, you know what, she should have learned how to deal with money, because right now you don't have the money. You don't have the money because you're in debt. When you're in debt, that's negative balance, okay? Every check you make, you're actually minus, okay? You don't have that money. You don't have it to where you can give someone else $100 and still make your bill payment on time. It has to be on time. If it's not on time, it will hit your credit report. If it hits your credit report, you're not going down 1, maybe 2 points. You're going down 10, maybe 15 points every single time. You cannot be late. And this goes into what I was talking about in terms of what you can afford and what you can't afford. If you need internet access but you can't afford cable TV, get DSL. It's cheaper. It's probably going to be slower, but it's cheaper. That's what you can afford. So that's what you need to understand. You have bills that you have to pay. None of them can be late. If you're living in what you can afford, you won't be living paycheck to paycheck. You'll start to notice that your bank account starts accruing all these little bits of cash that are, piling up. Now, if you currently have debt, and you have a lot of credit card debt, the only thing you can do is one of two things. Okay, you have two things you can do. You can try to get a 0% card and then transfer the balance to it, so that way you're not paying interest, and then you pay more than the minimum amount due. And remember, because you're living within your means, you have all this extra money that's just kind of coming up and rolling around. Use some of that towards this debt. Student loans, do not miss a payment. Credit cards, no payments missed. Light bill, no payments missed. You have to stay on top of it. And when I say it takes years, it literally takes years, okay? So that is assessing your credit. That is getting your credit in good shape. Pay off your debts, okay? You can't afford not to. This is your future. If you're trying to build credit, those shitty little $100 credit cards with high interest rates, I just told you, use them to buy your gas. Your gas is in your budget, so you're going to use that gas money to pay it off every month without fail. In terms of checking the credit report, see, there might be stuff on there that isn't even true. It's like, wait, I paid that bill. Fight everything that is on that credit card bill. If you have anything to do with taxes, if you've worked with a DBA, I've had to deal with this recently. If you worked with a DBA, make sure, and you see that there's a tax lien, but you don't remember why, you might have something on that DBA. Either you just registered it, but you never filed with it, you never used it. You need to have that cleared up. Or you did use it and you have taxes that you have to pay. Pay those damn taxes. When you call them, they will most likely work with you to pay those taxes. They'll probably not make you pay the penalties or anything else. I got lucky. I had a DBA. I didn't actually use the DBA for this particular client. I got employed by this client instead. So I had a DBA that was just rolling around, and it was estimated sales tax. Once they realized and they saw that I, filed as an employee that year, they wiped the slate clean for me. So understand, you can fight anything on that credit report, and this will only help increase that score. But remember, you've got about 4 or 5 years on this. I'm not joking. But during the course of those 4 or 5 years, remember, you're saving, okay? Over the course of those 4 or 5 years, you are building yourself a little bit of a cushion inside of your actual bank account that you're paying shit out of. During those 4 or 5 years, you're saving up for that brand new car. You're saving up for that down payment on a house. It takes years to save up for those things. Not a lot of people can just borrow money to buy a house or a car for a down payment from family or anything like that. You just don't have it like that. So you're going to have to save. The next video is actually going to be, we're going to fast forward a couple of years, and it's going to be all about purchasing, finding a house, what to look for, what neighborhoods to look for, why you would buy a 2-family home. And the video after that is going to be about mortgage. Maybe I'll roll the two together, given that I missed a day or two because I work from home. So I'll probably roll those into one, buying the house and dealing with the mortgage. The mortgage is what I'm going through now, and the caveat, there comes a point in dealing with the mortgage where you have zero control. You've done everything that you can do. You've given yourself the best chances possible. It is up to the bank at that point as to whether or not they're going to give you the loan. None of this guarantees you the loan, but all of this puts you in a better position to get the loan. And even if you don't get the loan, it puts you in a better position financially, just looking at your financial future. And, you can do other things with that money. I suggest jewels, mutual funds, and property. So that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe to Brutal Lynx, don't forget to share the videos. Remember, this is for people who need to know. I'm saying it's for the gay black community, but that's because the black community has already thrown me out for being gay. Otherwise, it's for anybody who needs or wants the information. That's your Credit Karma. Check them out. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Big Boy Project. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Brutal Lynx. You can also check me out on Facebook at Brutal Lynx. You can follow me on Twitter at Lynx Savage, which would be fine. And yeah, any questions you have about the process, because I know these videos are kind of short. So any questions you have, go ahead, ask the questions, send me a private message. I don't mind. I'll answer the questions, because there's no way that I'm going to fit everything into a 10 to 15 minute video. It's just not going to happen. But these are the basics, and if you go with these basics, you will come out ahead. But you have to pay those debts, all right? You owe those people money. Debt is slavery. Once you're out of debt, you are no longer in debt slavery. Once you are, doing what I tell you to do in terms of buying the houses, you'll no longer be a slave to your job either. You'll actually be working because you want to, not because you have to. So tune in for the next episode, and hopefully this is helping somebody. Like I said, I'm not an expert. This is just my experience, and I'm telling you what I did to get my shit right. Because I didn't have bad credit. I had it worse. I had no credit. I was doing everything in cash. So I had to build credit from the ground up, and it wasn't easy. And it took me years to do it. So that's it. That's all. You guys have a great day. I have to go into work, so I will catch you guys later. Bye.